Yeah, John he's a special dude. When he's gone, we're all gonna miss him. It's a different kind of. I mean, he's been at the top for 14 fucking years. He won the title as the youngest guy to ever win a UFC title, 23.
23.
And Mike was the youngest heavyweight champion of all time at 20, which is really crazy.
Crazy.
But when John Jones won that title at 23, it's just been destruction of everyone ever since. Never ducked anybody, fought all the best, destroyed everybody, dominated his division, went up to heavyweight, dominates at heavyweight.
So why does somebody like that self-destruct? Is that a self-destruction?
Because he's a wild motherfucker. That's how you get to be that good.
Isn't that what we're talking about the whole time? Is we're talking like whether it's Hunter S. Thompson and this, and how you walk that line. Mike Tyson spending whatever $350, $400 million, going to jail, whatever that is.
Wild. But that's also what makes you so good. That wildness. John Jones,
from dismantling champions in the octagon to igniting debates outside of it, John Jones has always been more than just a fighter. He's a phenomenon. And now, after a glimpse of his latest training footage, the buzz is back. But it's not just fans talking, big names are chiming in too. Joe Rogan, never one to hold back, recently gave his take on what makes John so special. He didn't just admire the strength or technique, he dug into the mindset behind it, blending praise with real questions about the chaos that always seems to follow John around.
Doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yep.
To get up to heavyweight.
That and the extra weight, right? Yeah. He's carrying all that extra weight. He's lifting all that weight. And it's like, you got to develop muscle, but it's got to be usable muscle. You can't just be big.
Well, the other thing is if you're not doing anything, like if you're not taking anything, then your recovery from like really heavy power lifts is kind of significant.
Didn't he lift like 600 pounds or something?
Oh my God, he's strong as fuck. He's strong as fuck. He looks very big now. Like he looks like a heavyweight. But John Jones, when he fought Mauricio Shogun Rua for the light heavyweight title when he was 23 years old, he opens up the fight with a flying knee. Nobody does that.
Joe Rogan didn't just see a world-class athlete in John Jones. He saw something far more complex. For him, John is in the same category as Mike Tyson, a natural-born conqueror. It's not just the titles or knockouts that impress Joe. It's the rare mentality. Rogan explained that some people are simply wired differently. They're uncommon among the uncommon, and John fits that mold. From a young age, he dominated elite fighters and never backed down from challenges. Even after moving to heavyweight, he continued to destroy his competition, proving his greatness across weight classes.
Special fighter.
It's conquerors. That's what it is. Like, they're both conquerors. Like, I had this thing that I put up on my Instagram the other day that somebody made. It was me talking about trying to explain why John exists. That there's people that are just different. They're wired different, and they are uncommon amongst uncommon men. They rise to the top of the top.
They're
and
the Black
they just
Op of their
dominate. They just dominate, and that's John. He's just the greatest of all time.
It's exciting.
He's
to watch.
37 years old, and he's still.
But Joe also didn't ignore the other side. As much as he admires John's skill, he wrestles with the question, why does someone so dominant keep imploding outside the cage? He believes it's the same wildness that fuels John's success. That unpredictable, no-fear mentality might help in a fight, but in the real world, it's explosive. Joe pointed out how John's career has been littered with chaos, from crashes to run-ins with the law. And while it's frustrating, it's also what makes John who he is.
Jones was having all sorts
he's got trouble
of
with everybody.
problems. His problems, I think, had very little to do with Dana and more to do with his actions outside of the cage. I mean, inside the octagon, and the way he was promoted fantastic. But he's just crazy.
Yeah.
John's crazy. You know?
John is crazy.
John needs
That's
a babysitter. I mean, John's the baddest motherfucker at 205 ever. He just needs a babysitter.
How anyone let him drive a car anymore when you got that much money is beyond me. Like, pay your buddy $40,000 a year.
Exactly.
And have him drive you permanently.
Yeah.
Like, why he was driving his own car, that one's beyond me.
Well, they didn't know until they bought him a Bentley, and then he wrapped it around a tree. But that's when they should have known.
But then there was the other one where he hit and the hit and run was after that one.
Yep, the hit and run was after that one, and then there was the other one we got pulled over speeding in his Corvette. He told the cop to go fuck himself.
Terrible decision. What are you doing?
He's a fucking wild dude.
Yes.
That's why he's so good. It's one of the reasons why he's so
Absolutely. But then you got
For Joe, it's not just about technique or titles, it's about personality. He believes John's refusal to play by the rules, even when it would have saved him trouble, is part of the reason he's so elite. Fighters like John often resist control. They don't want to be told what to do, even by the UFC. And while that comes with consequences, it's also what creates greatness.
You can't babysit everybody. The UFC has 500 fighters on its roster. I mean, how many of those guys are prone to wild behavior? I would say 350.
a lot of them. Yeah. Most of them, right?
Yeah.
High risk males that fight in a sport where you have the potential to be hurt every single time you step on the job. Yeah. But when you're making millions of dollars, you got to put safeguards against yourself.
Yeah, but I think also what makes John so good is his self-confidence. And he probably is like, I got it. I fucked up before, but I got it now.
So I'm really into sports.
While Rogan painted a picture of John Jones as a fighter who just understands combat on a different level, Daniel Cormier's experience with him proved that firsthand, and not just in the octagon. Before they even fought, things were already intense. At one of their press events, John walked up and put his head on Cormier's. DC, never one to back down, pushed him away, and that's when it turned into chaos. John came at him and they started brawling in front of everyone. Security got involved, people went flying off the stage. It wasn't just trash talk anymore. This was real, and it set the tone for one of the most heated rivalries in UFC history.
He probably fell down. I'm going to tell you one thing. And I'll tell you this right now. When I was in that press fight with John Jones, I was still undefeated at the time. And we were at the MGM Grand, and he headbutted me, like put his head on me. So I push him. He's an alpha male too. So the fucker attacks me.
Right.
Right? So we get to fighting.
Oh, boy.
So we get to fighting, right? And we're fighting, and Joe, the security guard from the UFC, falls under me. But now I'm on my back as we go flying off of the stage. I will say there was a thought to bite the motherfucker. Because like, what am I doing on my back? Right? I'm losing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bite the son of a bitch. I ain't got no mouthpiece in my mouth.
But what really stood out for DC wasn't just the tension. It was how hard it was to deal with John in the actual fight. As a decorated wrestler, Cormier was used to controlling opponents. He had taken down legends like Stipe Miocic with relative ease. But against John, it was a different kind of struggle. Even when DC managed to take him down, Jones knew how to stay composed, how to get back up, how to drain energy.
He was always
When we
strong.
fought, he was strong. Like, he was strong. Leverage. Great with his leverage. Dude, the way he was able to manipulate positions, because I thought, without a shadow of a doubt, that I would take him down at will. But it's hard. Even if you get a takedown, it's hard against the best guys. I picked Stipe up. I threw him down. Held him down for the whole first round. And then he got up because we got to start again. So now I got to start that process all over again. And that's why Khabib Nurmagomedov was so special. Because it didn't matter how many times he had to restart the process. He went right back to doing that with his opponent, knowing that he was going to throw you to the ground.
In the clinch, John's height and reach became a huge problem. Cormier talked about how it felt like he was the one holding John up, not the other way around. John would lean all his weight into him, pressing him into the cage, making DC carry not just the physical load, but the mental pressure of trying to figure out how to escape. That constant leaning and dragging wears on your body round after round.
Guys like Jones, he's so tall, he's so rangy, and he just understood fighting. The guy just understands fighting. And it makes him hard to deal with. And then, Joe, when you get in a clinch with this dude, he's so tall that it's almost like you're holding him up if you're the shorter fighter. He's like draping over the top of you. And that is what fatigues you. Because when I'm clinching, you know, I fought there a ton. Like, just in the clinch, punch, punch, punch. I'm trying to break your posture. He doesn't do that. He pushes you against the octagon, and then he leans. So now you're carrying 220 with your weight up against the octagon, and it's like, and then he's changing level. Then he's spinning, trying to elbow you. The dude just understands fighting and understands how to maneuver his body to fatigue you. It's crazy.
Then came the strikes, knees to the body when DC tried to close the distance, kicks from range when he backed up. No matter what approach Cormier tried, Jones had an answer. And while DC would land some heavy shots, John's were better timed, more punishing. A single knee to the ribs or a body kick would sap DC's energy in ways the crowd couldn't see, but he could feel. As DC put it, those body shots hurt bad. Like the kind of pain that sticks with you well after the fight's over.
Managing distance.
Oh, gosh. It hurts so bad trying to get close to him. I tell you that, hey, dude, it hurts so bad. Joe, it hurts so bad. The kicks to the body and the knees, because you know me, like me and Kane were forward, head movement, get close, punch, take you down.
Right.
But with him, he was a southpaw, so his lead leg was right there, so I wanted to grab a single leg. But this dude would be stepping back, kneeing me. And then I would be like, okay, so I need to stop going forward. So now I'm at range, and he blasts body kick, and then body kick. So now you're like, shit, I'm not going to stay on the end of these body kicks because they hurt. So then you get close, and he knees you. So it's like you're landing, and I'm hitting him. But he's hitting me with things that may not be as big, like my hand, overhand, right, looks big. But that knee just goes, boom, right in the rib every time. Boom, right in the rib. And then every now and again, they catch you right in the middle. That shit hurts bad, man.
And what made Jones even harder to deal with was his ability to stay calm in every situation. He wasn't wild or reckless. He fought like someone who had seen every scenario before and knew exactly how to respond. Cormier knew how to grind guys down, but John knew how to wear him down. And just when fans were starting to believe Jon Jones was all talk, he popped up halfway across the world at none other than the legendary Bang Tao Gym in Thailand. Not just riding scooters and sipping beers, but actively participating in seminars. Yeah, the same guy who's been accused of ducking Tom Aspinall is now back in the gym, surrounded by fighters, answering questions, and hinting that the fight might actually be happening. It feels like training camp energy is slowly returning, and Jones showing up at a gym like Bang Tao. That's not a vacation move, it's a calculated step towards something big.
Because he was just at a seminar in Thailand, Bang Tao, world famous gym, and he gave one hell of an announcement.
When are you fighting Tom?
I was waiting for it. When are you fighting Tom? Like, governor. The UFC in town, we all got a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. They're one of the biggest organizations in sports, and right now Tom and I have agreed to wait for the UFC to make their announcements. So I legally can't really talk about it.
Michael Bisping, who's trained with killers and knows the mental side of prepping for war, picked up on this too. He pointed out how Jones seemed to slip a little during his Q&A, hinting that the fight was a done deal, just waiting for the UFC to make the official call. That's huge, because for months, Jones's energy has screamed, "I'm not ready," but now he's at a world-class gym, surrounded by cameras and fans saying things like, "We've agreed." Bisping made it clear, you don't drop lines like that unless the wheels are turning behind the scenes. And
so, of course, he's at Bang Tao, he's doing a Q&A, and he was asked, when is the fight with Tom going to happen? He knew it was going to come, and his answer explains a lot. He said it's going to happen. He basically says the fight is a done deal, but of course, they can't announce it yet.
Let's be real, Bisping's been around long enough to know that these announcements don't just get leaked over a podcast or random IG live. Fights of this magnitude are saved for press conferences, world tours, the whole circus. So when Jon Jones hints at it in a seminar, that's intentional. That's a signal. Bisping emphasized that a fight this big deserves a proper unveiling, and the UFC will absolutely want to control that narrative.
Now, of course, this is one of the most highly anticipated fights in all of UFC history. And you can't just announce it, oh, the fight's going to happen. No.
That's stupid.
Fights of this magnitude, the UFC want to do a proper job. They want to announce it in a spectacular fashion. They want to have a press conference. They want the world's media there. They don't want someone on YouTube or whatever or on the phone just going, yeah, the fight's happening, right? Even when I was fighting my fights, I wasn't allowed to announce them. They wanted to announce them.
Now that brings us back to Tom Aspinall, the man whose name just won't leave John's mouth. Bisping called out the psychological angle here too. Jones saying, "Tom annoys me?" That's not just trash talk. That's a man trying to justify his delay, maybe even convince himself. But Bisping isn't buying it. He sees the game. This isn't fear. It's strategy, stirring interest, raising stakes, making everyone need this fight more than they already do.
Told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. The heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce that soon.
Now, John Jones has been playing around a little bit. He said that Tom Aspinall annoys him and he doesn't want to give him the opportunity.
I just don't even want to do business with him.
And for a while, I was like, what is he doing? Then I was like, hold on a minute. Maybe he's just playing the game. Maybe he's just trying to get us all to want the fight even more. And he might be doing. And he might be talking shit right now, right? We don't know. We don't know if what he's saying right now at Bang Tao.
But it's also personal. Jones admitted that UK fans showed up in droves at Bang Tao. And according to him, it's because of Tom. Bisping caught that detail and highlighted how big a star Aspinall's becoming. We're not just talking hype anymore. We're talking crowd-pulling power. That means pressure. And pressure changes behavior.
And he said the fight's going to happen, okay? And I don't think he was just saying that because he felt the pressure of the crowd. Yes, of course, there was a massive turnout at Bang Tao. He said that a lot of the people that were there, they were from the UK, and it's because of Tom Aspinall talking shit. He said he has a lot of fans in the UK, and the love for him is through the roof. Listen, John Jones is one of the greatest of all time, if not the, right? That's a fact. There's been some behavioural issues, shall we say. There's been some problems with the law. There's been some problems with drug tests over the years as well. But the reality is, what he has done inside the octagon is incredible, okay? And that's why people want...
And for Aspinall, this is the moment he's been grinding toward. Bisping put it best. Tom's not just waiting for a paycheck. He's waiting to prove he's the undisputed king of the heavyweights. And to do that, he's got to go through the guy many still call the GOAT. That's legacy on the line.
Tom Aspinall has been waiting on the sidelines, just waiting for that opportunity, waiting to validate himself as A, the champion of the world, and B, the baddest man on the planet. And he's got to do that by beating John Jones.
Bisping didn't shy away from the stylistic breakdown either. He praised Tom's speed, agility, knockout power, and well-rounded game. All things Jones hasn't really faced in one package, especially not in the heavyweight division. It's no secret anymore. Tom is the real threat, and that might be why we're only now seeing signs of John engaging again.
Mixed martial arts. The only questions that we ever seen about Tom is, what is he like when he gets to the later rounds? We got to assume that he's going to be good. The man can wrestle. He's got jiu-jitsu. He's got ridiculous knockout power. He's fast. He's quick. He's a hell of an athlete. He's very agile. And this was the reason why a lot of people were saying, John Jones doesn't want to fight this guy. He thought he was going to come up to heavyweight and fight some fat, out-of-shape dudes. Granted, he beat Cyril Garner, who's far from out of shape and far from fat and old or anything like that. But a lot of the heavyweights, some of them aren't maybe the best athletes. I think people were trying to say, oh, he just wanted people like Taito Avasa or whatever. Taito Avasa knocked out Derek Lewis. Just because someone's got a little bit of flabber around the midsection, don't think they can't knock you out. But of course, Tom Aspinall is a different kettle of fish.
And here's where Bisping hit the nail on the head. This fight needs to happen, because without it, Jones's legacy will have a shadow. And if it does go down, especially at Madison Square Garden like Bisping predicted, it could be one of the biggest heavyweight showdowns ever. The money, the eyeballs, the stakes, it's all there.
And if it does actually happen, if it goes down in Madison Square Garden, which is what I always said it would, because a fight of this magnitude needs an iconic venue, then everyone's going to get paid a shit ton of money. And if Tom Aspinall can go through him, then he's going to make that FU money down the line. If he beats John Jones, becomes the undisputed champion of the world, after this, every single fight is going to just be bigger and bigger. He's going to go down as the greatest fighter maybe in the history of the UFC. But of course, he's going to beat John Jones.
And let's not forget, Bisping reminded everyone that Jones might have the IQ, but Aspinall has the X factor, power, speed, and unpredictability. If it's a clean fight with real stakes, game plans may fly out the window. In Bisping's words, once you eat a clean shot from Tom, you're not thinking strategy, you're thinking survival.
Mike Tyson said, as soon as somebody gets punched in the face, the game plan goes out the window and you're fighting on instinct. And one thing's for sure, you do not want to eat a left hook or a right hand off Tom Aspinall, or by me for that matter. Anyway.
So what do you think? Is John Jones just stalling again, or is this fight actually going down? Will Tom Aspinall finally get the shot he deserves, or is this another drawn-out tease? Let us know in the comments below. We're watching this one closely, and if it happens, it could define the heavyweight division for years to come.